We live in a world where global supply chains span continents in seconds, and data networks link almost every device on Earth. Yet, beneath this digital surface, the daily reality of our workplaces feels remarkably disjointed. We deal with isolated departmental silos, delays on simple decisions, and a pervasive sense of burnout despite being more connected than ever. This friction creates a fragmentation tax. It's the hidden cost of parts linked by wires but lacking a functional relationship. This tax drains energy. It forces manual workarounds, endless alignment meetings, and duplicated effort across departments. Because we mistake technical connection for human alignment, standard software upgrades rarely solve the problem. They address the tools we use, but they leave the underlying friction untouched. Addressing this systemic friction requires looking at organizations through a lens that emerged in an unlikely setting, an 18-year-old pre-med student's dorm room in 1975. While listening to a rock album by Journey between classes, he experienced a sudden shift in his perception of reality, an encounter with an infinite intelligence. He returned convinced every separate individual is a point within a larger consciousness. We are structurally linked, whether we realize it or not. Lacking a practical way to explain this in the 1970s, his perspective was treated as a medical crisis. He was misdiagnosed and placed in a psychiatric ward. This failure to communicate proved that abstract insights are of little use on their own. To matter, they have to be tested and proven within the demands of the real world. Over the next decade, he moved from the world of abstract ideas into aerospace manufacturing, eventually becoming an operations manager responsible for millions of dollars in shipments. On the factory floor, he made a discovery. Breakdowns that appeared to be technical or financial problems were almost always disguised relationship failures. Behind every late shipment was a history of mistrust or territorial behavior. He began redesigning workflows based on the idea that a company is a living system of people rather than a machine with interchangeable parts. By focusing on human communication and shared data, he cleared massive documentation bottlenecks that had stalled government payments. This shift restored a $1 million a month revenue stream. This showed that aligning human purpose and treating people with dignity isn't just a moral preference, it is an operational strategy that removes the friction preventing a system from functioning. He later applied these lessons to multi-million-dollar construction partnerships, high-stakes environments where competing financial interests and heavy conflict are the norm. Here, he refined the concept of coherence. It's where distinct parts maintain unique identities, but remain appropriately related to function as a whole. Like an orchestra, it requires managed tension, working with difference without letting it turn into division. When a system achieves this level of coherence, information moves freely, trust speeds up decision-making, and the fragmentation tax is eliminated. Today, the emergence of artificial intelligence has made the need for this coherence more pressing. We currently have access to abundant, hyper-scalable machine intelligence, but our organizational structures lack the human wisdom and alignment required to guide it effectively. If you plug high-speed AI into a fragmented organization, it doesn't fix broken relationships. It simply automates the chaos, amplifying existing friction. This acceleration scales the fragmentation tax, creating a cycle of errors and disconnected data that divided leadership can no longer manage. AI precision requires human coherence to be useful. Resolving the friction between our teams is no longer just a way to improve morale. It is the only way to make these powerful new tools functional. A more coherent world won't arrive through a single technological breakthrough or a sudden massive shift in human consciousness. Change happens through the unglamorous daily choices of listening to those who disagree, respecting different roles, and showing up to build trust. The real challenge isn't about escaping our reality to touch the cosmic. It is the ordinary, daily effort required to bring coherence to the systems we inhabit.
The future doesn't need faster AI. It needs coherent intelligence, where human wisdom meets machine precision, revealing hidden friction before it becomes costly. AI Universal Engine, designing a better world.